Silksong, the game everyone waited for, then it arrived 5 months ago, but I'm making a video now because I procrastinated. I travel across Falloon, fighting bad guys, saving innocents, doing really weird side quests, dying a lot, and managing to kill the final boss hitless on the first try without even trying. And with 38 pages of script, you can bet I got some good stuff for you. Hello again, I'm Azest, and this is Silksong. I start the journey with some mild vandalism because I hate lampposts above all else, before standing on a big button and going inside the Citadel. I find an elevator because we are no longer in the wild paths. We are in civilized society. Good lord, just give me some tea and biscuits right now. The difference between the vibes of the first act and this one are abundantly clear. Hold on. Alrighty then, we're going down. Nothing can ever be easy. Rule 1 of gaming. And we stopped. Rule 1 in action, ladies and gentlemen. And Rule 1 is further proven when I fall down the elevator at terminal velocity. Why is it that every single video of Silksong begins with me falling down from a metal cage and only having one mask? But I'm here now, can't go back, and all I can do is go forwards. Forwards through the underworks. I quickly got into a fight with some workers because I hate the working class, and I began the exploration. I found a room of grinding gears. This surely can't go wrong. It went wrong. But it's fine, we move on, we learn from our mistakes, we become better for it, we live, laugh, and love. We get hit by a big box chainsaw hybrid and instantly die. Great. And guess what? Capitalism is even worse in the Citadel, which I suppose makes sense. I don't know why I thought it'd be better in the heart of the kingdom, but the point is, I have to pay to get a bench. No biggie. The biggie is that it doesn't stay around. Why do you hate me? I can tell when I'm not wanted. I'm leaving. Freaking anti-homeless benches. I also love how a lot of the travel in this kingdom is done by traveling in air vents. I think that's what these are. But it really does make me feel more sneaky, and also shows just how much more civilized this place is than the rest of the kingdom. The worker bugs also show this place is so much more civilized that it has a class system. And through the air vents, I get to the coral chambers. This is the first place that really nails in how much more grand the Citadel is. I see this weird station, don't know what that is, so I ignore it. And this display of the Citadel seems to be how I get maps, which sucks. Chakra is so much better. Yeah, it's a cult. Ain't no way that's not a cult in there. That's absolutely a cult. Speak now, thy confession will be heard. You have confessed a sin most grave, and must by works cleanse yourself. Return to your task and work off cycle, neither eating nor stopping until new cycle begins. By the grace of Father Eternal, may you never tire, toil, and be renewed. I actually have a lot of sins, so... One time I hit a bird with my car. I feel better. I have more sins. I don't like Elden Ring. Someone somewhere is pissed at me for saying that. And to hopefully get away from that hypothetical person, I unlock the Ventrica. This is the travel system for the Citadel, porting me around throughout the Citadel like I'm one of those things I used to have in like banks that would like suck cylinders in and shoot them around. You know those things with like the rolled up paper? I think it was in Paddington too. Good movie. I should watch the third one. It's probably really good. Regardless, I continue my ascent. Don't really know where I'm going exactly, but oh, it's this lady. What's this? The little spider climbs so high, here to stand a quiver at our startling citadel. Lady, what are you talking about? A quiver? No one has ever said that before. Spider dear, why must you remain so distressingly optimistic? The power that waits above you cannot conceive. It goes so fast. You think I don't know what's going on? I know everything, so let me lay it out for you Barney style. Your kingdom is being controlled by a higher being that wants me for my silk. Unfortunately for that pseudo-god, I'm too badass for them to get it. Ha ha ha! Marvelous! So the spider knows something of fathomless means and hopes to stand against one, a god. Where do you hide this boundless strength? You claim spider. I've watched you struggle toward it. Yours is a painful broken track when you see courage to stand before the divine. Bro, I've literally gone god slaying with one of my boys before. Did you not play Hollow Knight? Away I go! She didn't even say goodbye. Okay, well that was just rude. Alright, let's consider what we know. The ruler of Farloom is a higher being, and they usually revolve around one concept, like light for the Radiance, fire for Grim, and being pale for the Pale King. And considering they use silk and want my silk, it can easily be assumed that they are a higher being of silk. Truly, Sherlock Holmes has nothing on me. Making my way across a bridge, I come to the dark corner of Farloom, the Slab. This is the prison of Farloom, inhabited by its prisoners and its gross jailers. I fight some of the prisoners, and I'm not entirely sure why I do this, but they probably did something bad, so I don't feel too bad. And I open a bellway for Siobhan. Oh, it's been too long, Siobhan. What, it's been like 4 or 5 months since the last video? I don't know. I scripted this current sentence 2 weeks after I released the first video. Point is, I missed you, Siobhan. The Ventrica is kind of sick, but you're a roly-poly, so you're objectively sicker. Outside of the bellway is Mount Fay. I'd love to explore it, but it's really cold, so I can't really do that right now. I find this scraggly little fella in a bin, and he tries to take my stuff. No. Yeah, screw you, buddy. Also, a fun little detail here is that the enemies I fight in the Citadel are the exact same ones I fought during the pilgrimage, but in nicer clothes. I guess some of them did succeed after all. But it's time to talk about my favorite fight in the game, the Cogwork Dancers. There are 2 mechanical dancers that block your way and give you the fight of your life. They, as the name might imply, dance to the music that plays in the background. Music that is a bop and a half. It's like a waltz if a waltz was awesome. They dance around the screen, crossing blades and working in tandem to try and kill me. And no way in hell am I going to let them kill me. This is too cool to die to. And after sufficient damage is dealt, they return to their little workstations and get operated on and healed up. And when they get back into the fight, the tempo has increased. I like how they almost seem like toy soldiers in a way. The animators did an amazing job making them seem robotic and stiff. Like all of their movements are pre-planned in a very inhuman way. And after more fighting, they return to their workstations. They jitter as the gears turn, and when they are released once again, they have turned rabid. The music drops the waltz and turns into a frenzied battle music. The dancers stop working together, only trying to murder you, their movements much harder to keep track of. But eventually, I stab and pierce enough times, and one of them falls. The other one returns to its workstation, and the music stops. When it is released, what plays is a soft music box, slowly chiming as the remaining Cogwork dancer slowly and pitifully dances. Most everyone, myself included, might have expected the remaining dancer to become even more fast and powerful, but instead it just seems sad. It lost its partner and has no reason to continue, so it does what it was made to do, but without zeal, without passion. It is a robot, an automaton, an unfeeling machine, and yet I pity it for its loneliness. That's why I just stare at it for so long, unwilling to end its lonely dance. But I need to kill it to continue, and even if I could let it live, I don't know if I would. So, I kill it, like I killed its partner. As I said in the previous video, you know a game is good when it can make you feel sad. And I was sad. With the Cogwork dancers defeated and my heart slightly shattered, the room began to rotate, and 3 strange brass statues surrounding an elevator were revealed. I had no earthly idea what was happening, but if I knew how to do anything, it was to pretend like I did know what was going on.
Pilgrim of Farloom Eternal, you rare chosen who hath ascended to this final threshold, listen to our wish, deliver it, you may rise above and see your pilgrimage end.
We would hear the song of the architects at the core of our citadel, they who sustain our realm, its walls, its floors, and its voice, even as others fall silent. We would hear the voice of the keepers within their grand vaults, they who guard our history, our prayers, and our secrets across the ages.
We would hear the melody of the conductors, high in their gleaming towers. They bear the heaviest mantle, who will guide our land ever on to greatness.
Pilgrim of Farloom Eternal, regale us with our threefold song, that you may rise above and worship for our kingdom's divine heart. I probably shouldn't have skipped the dialogue so fast. Might have been more dramatic if I let it simmer, but oh well. Anyways, the path forward is now clear. I must find 3 melodies and play them all to the brass statue so I can take the elevator to see the divine heart. $5 says it's the ruler of Farloom. I found a key, cleaned the spell, and rang it. When I ran outside, I found myself ambushed by a tent. I didn't know tents could talk in Farloom. It was cool world building there. And now I'm slightly scared of going into REI again. Unfortunately, it turns out it was actually a bug in a tent, not the tent itself. I know, it's a letdown of the century. He then got unreasonably pissed with me for ringing the bell because people would come here and seek shelter. I didn't know this guy hated homeless people. It's nice to see there's horrible people even in the bug world. While exploring the kingdom further, I got mugged by some bugs. That's something that actually happened. I got mugged and killed, and they stole my money. This game is starting to feel more and more like New York instead of a fantastical bug kingdom. And when I revived back at the bench, I found Songclave had been founded. Just as the guy in the robes that hated poor people had said, a lot of bugs had gathered around and formed a new town, with its own wish board and everything. And I made a point to do all the wishes, because I have a little thing called empathy, unlike this bastard in the white robes. What can I say? I don't like people who hate the poor. Using the white key I found earlier, I went into White Ward. This was the surgical capital of Farloom, and also the eeriest place in the game. I hated it here. It was so spooky and scary, I had to double check to make sure it wasn't a skeleton. You know, like the song? Spooky, scary skeletons. Just had to make sure you got that one. If I pick this up and you stop lurking behind there, I will kill you. Damn it, I hate being right! Yep, this guy had silk wrapped around his head with serrated blades on the tips of the strings, and he used them to slice me. Also, he floated. I don't know why the rest of this game was like nice and serene, then Team Cherry decided to turn this into a Resident Evil game. It truly did not need this, and I would have preferred if we didn't have this at all. I managed to scrounge around enough to find a little dispenser for a map of White Ward, and the only conceivable use for that is to find out how to leave. What the hell is that? Why is it so long and why does it have scissors? This place sucks ass, I hate it here. Did you just moan at me? Because I'd rather die than be here anymore, I tried throwing myself into the furnace, but there was a secret passage. I was tempted to burn to ashes anyways, but I guess I should progress the game. No. Alright, where are we? That's the 4th chorus. I already killed it once, maybe this is the 5th chorus. Also, I can definitely hear someone mumbling around here, but I can't jump up there, so they'll have their piece for now. Why did I... That was the worst stutter I've ever done. Wow. I'm keeping that in. I went into what I can only describe as the nether, no ghasts, thankfully, before finding another Weaver statue. Daughter of a distant land, blah, blah, blah. We know the drill. Hiya! Nevertheless, we have gotten the claw line. TLDR, throw a needle forward, go to where needle now is. Pretty cool and mainly used for parkour. The movement in this game is leagues better than Hollow Knight's, and I'm very thankful for that. I love me some good parkour. With my newfound skills, I found the person that was mumbling earlier. You're not gonna kill me, are you? Turns out she actually didn't kill me. I was really expecting her to, even asked her if she was going to, but nope, she's chill. She was the 12th architect, and she was responsible for making all the cool stuff in this kingdom. She physically couldn't stop doing it, and since I was part Weaver, she offered to make some stuff for me since it's part of her code. Also with the claw line, I went to this Weaver door, went crazy on the Neodolin, and found myself in Weave Nest Karn. And who would have guessed there is also a Weaver statue here? Yes, I'm a daughter, I'm very distant, typical teenager, I know. Anyways, I think I just like making that noise too much. Regardless, I got the sharp dart. Basically, I just dash through enemies and hurt them. Pretty boring and not really my style. I actually finished New's Beast Compendium, so I returned to her and presented her with it. No. Yeah, New was kind of weird, but that makes sense. She lived in the attic of a bartender. She probably got sloshed every night. I continued on and found an enemy I hadn't seen before. This guy seemed to be from the... What the... You bastard! Let me out, you dick! Screw you! What the hell? This is ridiculous! Why did he just... Oh, you bastard! Oh, dude. Did I get sloshed with New again? Oh, yeah, I got kidnapped. Alrighty, well, I'm just gonna bang myself against these walls. Somehow that worked. Alrighty, then. Did that guy take my clothes? What the hell? He took all my stuff! I'm going to murder him. Not even in a funny way. I'm just going to snap his neck. The day of retribution cometh. To work off some aggression, I go hand to hand with this random inmate before finding this fellow. He was extremely unhelpful, dare I say counterproductive. I found the key of the Indolent before throwing hands with some more inmates and stole this bug shell that had a map on it. I don't want to think too much about the specifics of any of that, so let's move on. I ascended, trying to reach the bastards that had my needle, and speaking of, turns out you can't pogo if you don't have one. I'm not sure what I thought would happen, but what did happen is that I lost a mask and looked like a dumbass. I got to the top, but like Mount Fate, it was cold as hell. Probably because I didn't have any clothes on because a bastard took them, but I digress. What's up, loser? See ya. Thank goodness that guy doesn't have object permanence. I'm not going to do a one-liner, I'm just going to murder him. Guess who's back, mother flippers? It's me, and speaking of flipping, I'm about to murder you! Don't mess with my needle and don't mess with my clothes. What's up, Siobhan? I just got kidnapped. How's your day going? Back in the capital, there was this fellow, Mergwin. He wanted me to go find a ton of ingredients to make a cool cake, and who would I be to refuse? I got a stew from the Moss Druid and gave it to Mergwin, before going down from the room where I murdered the Cogwork dancers and found myself in the Cogwork Core. This is a place with more gears than there are bricks in the Great Wall of China. There's also some parkour, but we'll get to that later. I got beat up by a pinball before doing some of that parkour I was talking about. Yeah, it's later now. And it's not long before I make my way to the Whispering Vaults. This is a place with a ton of documents, papers, and other nerd stuff. Fortunately, I played D&D, so I am a nerd, so I quite like it here. Did that stuff move when I hit it? Yes, it did. Alrighty then. Psalm Cylinder. Interesting. Like biblical psalms? So are these bugs Christian? Whoa, hold up! I'm a Christian too! Don't do a crusade on my ass! And that's how I met Vault Keeper Cardinius. He wanted the Psalm Cylinder real bad, which is weird because I found it inside of his house, so it was already his. Maybe he just didn't find it before. But I gave it, and he started playing a sick beat with it. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Got it. Yeah. Oh, this track goes hard. Wait, what did I just agree to? I was too busy jamming. Oh yeah, I should ask about the melody. I need to progress the game. The Vault Keeper was very unwilling to give it to me, but he told me I could find it further into the vaults. While adventuring around, I went inside this little side room, snuck around a bit before finding a parchment. O great land whose flame doth falter, whose choir conductors all doth fail, observe, take heart, that spark still burning, yon butterfly of crimson grace. All bells shall peal and voices raise, when brave Trobbio steps at last upon the stage. Interesting. So, remember when I said the Clockwork Dancers were my favorite boss fight? Yeah, I lied, like a liar. My favorite fight in Silksong will, and forever will be, Trobbio. He is everything I aspire to be in a way that's not even funny. He's a butterfly. I love butterflies so much. Second favorite animals, they are so pretty. He's an actor, like myself. Why else do you think I have dramatic moments in the majority of my videos? It's in my roots, man. My greatest dream for this YouTube channel is to eventually create a narrative story for people to enjoy, but I will always love the stage. And that's what Trobbio is. Someone who loves the stage. Every move he makes is flashy and over the top, red sparkles galore. And, speaking of red, he has a red-based color scheme. I love that! Second favorite color, red. A lot of second favorites, but he is my first favorite in life. He's my favorite everything. I would kill everyone for him. He simply looks fabulous, and I love him for that. And his music, mwah, chef's kiss. So bouncy and fun, I adore it. It's in most of my music playlists. And just the fact he was in what was pretty much the apocalypse and decided, I'm gonna continue performing on the stage. Hey, coolest guy ever. And when I unfortunately beat him, his death sequence, pure art. Worry not, dear viewer, he didn't die. You can tell because he didn't explode. He actually comes back later in the game. I don't get there in this playthrough, but I did after I finished the game, and I don't do this for just anyone, but I knew I had to show it to y'all. Yeah, it's enough of that. Thank you to some random YouTube channel I found, Flaze for that one. And don't worry again, because he still survives. And I'm stoked he doesn't get murdered by me. I needed him to stay alive. I love him so much. I love Trobbio so much. But all good things come to an end, so let's move on. But he will always stay in my heart. Did that bug just kill itself? I see Gachmon in passing, always good to see a familiar face, but I beep it so I can't say hi. And with my new needle spear attached grapple thingy, I do some parkour up these rings for a little while before finding myself in the high halls. Damn it, freaking water, always getting everywhere and being a nuisance. There was also this guy called a maestro who conducted little mechanical bugs. This is my favorite enemy in the game. Cool name, cool robots, A+, no notes. I unlocked a travel tube thing, unlocked a little map thing, and entered this room. Yes, it was a trial room. In fact, it was the mother of all trial rooms. In the entire game, this was the hardest trial room, simply because it did not end. Ever. And eventually, this big fella dropped from the ceiling, and I gotta wonder what he was doing up there. Does he make a habit of spending time in the rafters? Was he waiting for his cue like a theater kid? Anyways, this was a mini-boss, and he killed me. Multiple times. This guy wasn't the worst thing in the world, but when it was after fighting 20 billion enemies, it didn't feel far off. But I prevailed and moved on to the next room. Why is it still going? Why? No, 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 no. Please die, please die, please die, please die, please die, please die, please. Thank you. Oh, I can't catch a break, man. This place is gonna be the death of me. There's two? Sorry, I had to take a second there to process the fact that Team Cherry hates me. Ah, you bastard! Oh, crap! Same thing happened again. Pogo! Pogo! Yeah, dickhead, I got Pogo! Dodge your little blast, and I do mean little. It's not even just your security. It really is small and pathetic. One down! I don't even care. I have more health than a tank, and not the gaming kind. An actual military tank. Call me the Panzer I command tank the way I'm a tank! Hey, Azest here. Apparently that's a tank that was used by Nazi Germany. So just wanted to clarify, not a Nazi. I just Googled types of tanks and that popped up. So yeah, not a Nazi, but I am pretty angry at this guy right now. So let's resume the video, shall we? Vous êtes un petit, votre mère détestez-vous, vos amis détestez-vous aussi, mais je vous déteste les plus! Pissed me off so much I had to bust out the very limited French I know. Oh, the chandelier broke. You know what? Good. Inside, I found a figure behind a curtain that bared a striking resemblance to one of the statues that sang and told me to do stuff. He was also either weaving with silk or being fed silk to keep him alive, and the latter sounds cooler, so let's go with that one. He was actually kind of chill and said how he was sorry I had been treated so poorly, and he offered to sing me a little song to make up for it. And I love a song, so sure. And so I got a third of the threefold melody, the conductor's melody. Thanks, mate. Afterwards, I made my way through some vents into the Whispering Vaults, opened up this door, found this corpse, and found the Sacred Cylinder, that thing I was looking for a while ago. I returned to the black licorice-looking guy, showed him the cylinder, and got him to play it. He was kinda pissy about it, but I told him all his friends and family and ways of life were dead, so he might as well. So, you know, with that somehow working, let's do a little singing. And I have the Vault Keeper's Melody, 2/3 of the way there. And because I was just feeling like it, I returned to Mount Faye, the place that's like really cold if you forgot. It's also cold here. While I'm scripting this, there's snow here. I should make a snowman. Nevertheless, I went inside the mountain and found Chakra, my besto friendo. In every single timeline, me and her are best buds. I left Chakra behind, sadly I know, and continued up Mount Faye. Mount Faye was an interesting challenge. It was first and foremost parkour, utilizing all the tools I've gotten so far, but it had the added mechanic of frost. Basically, I had to do the parkour and get to the next heat spot before I started to, freeze and die, adding a timer in essence. I really liked this. It made it feel much more urgent and stressful, but, like a good stress. Also, the needle spear grapple thingy was amazing for parkour. 10 out of 10 addition to the game. It just felt good to use. Sister Spider, if seeking commune with the creature atop this mount, take the climb above as a test, a challenge beyond even our setting. Upon that summit gained and creature hailed, know that it shall choose what gift to grant, with death as likely as in sight. I'm willing to take that risk. boy, that was a close one. There have been a lot of moments like that one, but after a painful hour or so, I managed to make my way into a save spot. I bought a bench before continuing my way up the mountain. And just look at this, you gotta admit this looks awesome. Alright, let's go! Never mind, let's not go! I made a mistake and I'm willing to admit it. Alright, let's try that again. Whoa, oh, go. Yeah, yeah, just like that. Whoa, Nelly, whoa, now hold your horses there. Whoa, hip hip hooray. Whoa, okay, let's try that again. No, okay, no, whoa, and I'm dead. Oh, hey, I like froze after it. That's pretty cool. Okay, I swear the pun wasn't intentional. Boom, 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 boom! Yeah, baby, that's what it's all about. It's what we do it for. Okay, there's more. I was hoping there wasn't. Can I just send this one? I cannot. Good to know. Frickin' awesome. Whee! Oh, we're done. Oh, hey, a tuning fork. Oh, I was actually kind of right. That's rare. Alrighty then, Neodolin. Oh, yeah. What's up? Get it? Rattle. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, the radiance is back! Wait, no, that's just my PTSD speaking. It's just light. Yellow? Oh, crap, it's Big Bird! Wait, is Big Bird the thing that's gonna kill me? Alrighty, time to fight Big Bird. Never mind, Big Bird just gave me the fade down cloak, aka the double jump ability. And I gotta say, this pigeon looking guy is one of my favorite NPCs. Is it cause he's fluffy? Yes. Yes it is. I left the Pigeon of Power and found the mask maker up in the recesses of Mount Fae. See, this guy made masks for people. Yeah, that's actually not the faces of bugs. We all just wear masks our entire lives. And that, combined with the mask maker's general eeriness and cryptic words, makes this some very, very interesting lore. I hope this gets expanded upon. I want to know why everyone has to wear masks, and also how one guy in a cave in a mountain is making enough masks for an entire kingdom. How he doing that? Poking around a bit more, I found another mask shard, allowing me to get to my 7th mask. Now we're talking. The monarch will not know what hit her. Hey, remember this place? Hey, I hear you. Who's up there? I know you're there. I don't have a double jump yet. Okay, I'll be back next episode. Hey, what's up? I'm back. This was the hiding spot of Grindel and his band of bros, and more importantly, another shop. Unfortunately, he didn't really have anything terribly interesting, so I just moved on. Moved on to the fleas. Remember how we left them in Greymore? Well, now we are traveling out of Bug England, because I found enough fleas. And once again, I travel with them, and once again, it's cute. And we arrive on the edge of the capital, right at the entrance. Also, because Flea Master Mushka is a really nice guy, he gave me a spool fragment so I could expand my max silk amount. What a lovely guy. Back in Bone Bottom, the builder guy made a little statue of me to thank me for all I've done for the town, and to keep me company on the lonely road, and to remind me I'm always welcome in Bone Bottom. I don't really have anything funny to say about this. This was just really nice. Thanks, man. I love you to death. To purge myself of the wholesomeness, I murder a random cook lady in cold blood and steal her pickled muck maggot for the recipe. But back in Sinner's Road, I peeped this little breakable wall, so I broke through, and behind it was bile water. Remember Sinner's Road and remember the maggot water? Also, it's gross as hell. I hate maggots. Why would Team Cherry do this to us? And of course I can't heal because of the maggot water, Team Cherry. Why? Yeah, this place is that, but so much worse. This place is disgusting, and I hate everything about it, and it sucks. Also, I must admit, I did not just find this by myself. I had a friend in my theater group who told me about bile water while we were chatting about Silksong. So, shout out Aiden. Not his real name, because I'm not putting that out there on the internet without his consent. And honestly, I'm not at the point where I can tell my friends that I do YouTube sometimes. A fake name does defeat the purpose of a shout out, but I still did it. The past is in the past. It's really not. This is scripted. I could have just rewritten it. Yeah, even my dog's upset. You hear that? I feel like I've gotten off track from Silksong. We should probably get back to that. Sup, Shocker? This place sucks and I hate it here. There were these guys who vomited on me, and oh, what's that? A bunch of bugs strung up? Lovely. Oh, hey, a bench. You know, maybe life is just inherently constant suffering. I began to trek through biowater, eventually finding myself in the worst place in existence. I've been to some other trial rooms, called one the most stressful, called one the hardest, but this one had a different title. This is the worst trial room. I had to fight these stupid greenery-wearing bastards while avoiding the water and trying to hit them before they went back into the water. And I don't know if you forgot or something, but every time I got in the water, I can't heal anymore. And all of the enemies would make me move to not get hit, and more often than not, fall into the water as a result. And guess what? They had medieval traps too. They decided they should have wrecking balls with spikes on them. And after dying 10 million different ways, I found myself back at the bench, where I then had to run for 10 trillion years to make my way back to this trial room. And there were so many enemies on the way, and so much maggot water on the way. I could have played an entire musical while I walked back to my grave only to die again. But not to worry, because I was more time to listen to Hamilton. Yay! But finally, I managed to defeat the last of them. Please open up. Oh, you're joking. A whole new boss. What the hell is wrong with you? Were you not loved as a child, so now I have to make everyone else miserable? He can summon minions. The spiked ball came back with the... He can use soul? I thought that was a Hollow Knight exclusive thing. If I wasn't pissed, I would talk about how cool that is, that this bastard could use it. But as I am, I'm just gonna yell. Ah! I've been here for 5 hours. It's 5 a.m. I started at 12 a.m. I've done this so many times, I've run out of shards and I can't use my tools anymore. And I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. You know what? That's it. I'm locking in. Screw you! Get exploded, you absolute bastard. This is the most I've struggled in a game in years. I haven't done the old try, fail, repeat step 1 in eons. But I did get a lot of listening to Smosh Reed's Reddit stories done, so there's that. Oh my gosh, thank you. I need a bench. I need a bench. What was all of this even for? Well, my question is quickly answered. When I go inside this weird hut and find the Seeker's soul, then this body turns itself to dust. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry that happened to you. But what is the Seeker's soul, I hear you asking? Well, I don't know. I have no earthly idea. So basically, all of this suffering was for something I don't need. I love this game. I've been so much I don't even care, man. Great. Key of the Apostate. Okay, it's kind of funny. Hey man, let's make it quick. I don't have the energy for this. Yeah, dude, you look dangerous. You only kill to feed your you only kill to feed your young. I literally don't care. Everyone has a sympathetic backstory these days. Okay, how about a deal? I'll give you a lot of meat, and you'll... I don't know, but I'll do it. Okay, I think a fundamental vibe reset needs to happen, so let's have a tea break. Is this what chai tea is supposed to look like? I'm used to black tea. I'm not used to this color of tea. It's probably good. This is the closest thing I have to a shortbread cookie. That worked surprisingly well. I wish probably, yeah. I don't actually want the Pop-Tart that much. Oh, yeah, I have to do things with my fingers. I don't know how to play you. I know, right? It's a horrible song. Hi, Kaylee. Oh, hi. Kaylee, look, go, say hi to everyone. Hi. Say hi. Say hi to all 4 people who made it this long. Okay, guess not. Oh, yeah, you just want me to throw your ball. I get it. Give me that. Give me your ball. Give me your ball. Give me your ball. Give me your. Give me your ball. Get back. Give me your ball. Give me your ball. I forgot how tall I was. My head was just completely out of frame. Also, I didn't get the ball. But nevertheless, vibe check achieved. Let's continue. Going out of biowater, I found myself in a strange and misty place. Yo, butterflies! But what could this place possibly be called? The Mist? Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. That was well named. The Mist is unique in Silksong, as it is the only area that is randomly generated. That's right, this place is completely impossible to navigate and make progress in, as every time you reset it, it completely changes. Now, how do you find your way about? I have no idea. Also, there are like ghosts, like full-on ghosts, just the remains of those who have died that have yet to move on. And you know what's even scarier? Bear traps. And as I didn't know how to navigate the mist, I just kind of walked around. But eventually, I figured it out. And by that, I mean I walked around for 20 minutes, got annoyed, and Googled it. Apparently, I gotta use my neodolin to coerce the butterflies into showing me the proper way. I mean, come on, how was I supposed to know that? They led me this way before later on leading me this way. These guys were just trying to get their steps in, I think. But nevertheless, I managed to escape the mist and found myself in front of more maggot water, which definitely didn't give me war flashbacks. There was this big-ass machine-looking thing, and inside I learned it was called the exhaust organ. Via my Sherlock Holmes-level knowledge, I was able to deduce that this what was causing the mist to appear in the mist. So I went through the mist vents, having to dodge all the mist, and with the mist having missed me, I found myself in front of this lady who was playing an organ. Exhaust organ, piano organ, yeah, it all makes sense. And to add to the wordplay, she was trying to stab me in my organs. She was a pin user and very adept with it, but whatever coolness factor there might have been was lost when she screeched like a bird. Who does that? She eventually began to just like ground pound my ass, pushing me to the ground like a stereotypical bully. Also, as we fought the arena filled with mist, you know. And as we were fighting, time slowed down, and I realized something. Sharp things kill people. Want to know why you didn't win? You just missed. But real talk, I love the way that I learned the parry skill was by organically picking it up while fighting someone who uses it. I hadn't really thought about it, but it was kind of weird that the only way I could learn skills was by a statue giving me the YouTube tutorial on it. So Hornet just learning it mid-fight and managing to do it is really fun. Holy crap, that is so much money! Hell yeah, I could buy Quebec! Let's go! Wait, what the hell is that? There's a little... Hold on. Parkour skills don't fail me now! Okay, they didn't fail me. Oh crap, this is like a whole thing. What the... Oh, by the way, we're on the slab, you know, the prison place? And speaking of prison, that's a prison. Penitent first of the first kills you have the sin of apostasy. Penance by constriction, absolution denied. Alright, let's free this guy. Freeing mysterious prisoners has never gone wrong ever. What's inside? spawn of a distant land within this creature way to let my strength be on and reclaim the future of our cursed kingdom. I don't know what that means, but I do know one thing. Oh, well, that's not supposed to happen. Alright, bet. It's a boss fight. I thought I could just, like, take your power. Oh, crap, she made herself a dress. Oh, crap, she's called the First Sinner. That's a sick-ass title. I'm so screwed. I was very screwed. Okay, I was on 2 masks going in. That doesn't count. Okay, let's try that again. And let's talk about this fight. This is an amazing fight. Her basic attack pattern was get needles to skewer across the stage while she teleported around and tried to claw me. The music was frantic and hurried, and the fight felt quick and awesome. This fight felt similar to the Mantis Lords, in that it felt good to dodge around. This fight just felt good to do. Another cool thing is that the First Sinner was capable of healing herself the same way I did, which tracks were both weavers, and I had to rush to stop her. TLDR, this was a very fast-paced fight, and I loved it. And guess what? I eventually managed to do enough damage to the First Sinner to defeat her and get her to the second phase! That's right, baby! She started weaving runes, which is awesome. I love weaving runes with the homies late at night. And after, she started layering attacks on top of each other. It just felt amazing, dodging in and out, parrying attacks, stopping heals, and getting off heals of my own. This fight was perfect. While Trobbio will always be my favorite in terms of vibes and presence, this is my favorite fight mechanically. Team Cherry spent years in the kitchen, and they cooked up something wonderful. You know what? I'll say it. This fight makes up for Biowater. I said it. I forgive Team Cherry for their crimes against humanity because this fight is hype. Also, look at me parry all the attacks. She just goes straight through me. That's just impressive on my behalf, okay? I'm awesome, and this is awesome. But all good things come to an end, and I unfortunately defeat the First Sinner. I will remember you forever as a sick-ass fight. Ah, she's back, and she looks kind of awesome. Why is she posing like that? She's everything I'm not, man. Also, I honestly forgot I was going to bind her, so let's do that. I am upset I gotta kill her. I don't like killing people who are old. Like, how much has she seen? She's been alive since the founding of Farlem. She's got, like, knowledge to bestow. But those are musings for another time, because she just sent me into my Sherlock Holmes mind palace. I wander around, and I keep seeing these small little fellas running around, which is interesting, because they do resemble weavers in a way, and them being here is very interesting. Oh, hey, an orb. My eyes! Good lord, it hurts! Where are my eye drops? Why I don't have eye drops? Why don't I have eye drops? She called us daughters, called us divine. She lied. And I was given the Rune Rage, the same skill the First Sinner used, but let's focus on what we just saw. So, what we learned was that the Weavers were created by the Monarch of Farlem by using the small little fellas and infusing them with silk, like poke-evolving them into Weavers for the Monarch's plan. Very, very cool. I like this world building and lore dropping. And when I come to, the statue is gone. Rest in peace, lady. I hadn't considered it, but I suppose the statues are weavers who turn themselves into statues waiting for me to find them. That makes it a lot more tragic and beautiful, and I'm glad I learned that. But more importantly, and I want this to be known, I defeated the First Sinner on my first try. We don't count the one where I went in with 2 masks and died in 5 seconds. We don't count that one. Also, hiding this much behind a small crack in the ceiling is evil. I was very close to just missing it, but I didn't, and I'm glad. But alas, we must move on, so I take a quest to find Sherma. Sherma? Where are you, you little whimsical fella? You know I love you, man. That's why I'm in this horrible, horrible place. Sherma, why'd you even come here? It's so obviously both haunted and cursed. This place was built on ancient ant hill burial grounds. Yeah, ants actually will put all their dead in one place, making a kind of graveyard. Shout out ants for respecting their fallen comrades. Anyways, I found Sherma quivering and scared, and I hate to see my friends quivering and scared, so I helped him out by fighting the freaky silk bugs. I would really have rather not done this, I hate it here, But I like Sherma more than I hate it here, and I also got to test out my ability I got from the first Sinner. It was cool as hell, but not very consistent in its damage, so I didn't use it too much. But I defeated the enemies, gave Sherma some sage advice, and finished the quest. Yippee! And so Sherma returned to the camp and returned to healing up the travelers. Good guy. I went back to Belhart, and apparently there's a relic seeker guy who will buy my relics and oh my god. Good lord, that's a lot of money. I could buy a province with that much. There was also this guy, the Pin Master. Now, he was the guy who could upgrade my weapon so I could do more damage. And I just didn't look around and didn't find him. So I had been playing the game on hard mode. I was supposed to upgrade my weapon like 10 hours ago in the playthrough, and that's not even an exaggeration. So if you are ever thinking, dang, this fight is taking a long time, it's because I forgot to upgrade my nail. But I did it now, we good, and the Pin Master said he could upgrade my nail again if I got any pale oil. Way back in the very beginning of the game was this door, and since I figured out I could play my Neodolin to open them, I did that. Let's go! And I guess we're just going full sci-fi now, because what the hell is that? That wasn't anything but pure technology. The Weavers knew some stuff, man. Over here was a secret wall, but after many hours I'm attuned to this game's secret ways, so I immediately broke it down. Inside was a mysterious woman, caged inside a glowing orb thing. This was Eva, something that was both from the Weavers, but not one of them. Once I said I was built differently just like her, she bade me to come closer. And I trust prisoners as a general rule, so I obeyed. Eva is able to see my soul, but, not much else. My soul is also known as my crest, those things I've been using to change my combat. That does raise questions. Am I stealing people's souls and using them to supplement my combat for no other reason than murder? Who's to say? Eva offers to take a closer peek at my soul so she can offer clarity. My red flag alerts were going off, but I ignore them almost always, and this time wasn't going to be any different. Eva peeked real hard, and in doing so, saw my own crest. And so, I evolved the Crest of the Hunter. It was now able to build focus, so consecutive hits would make me stronger. Eva basically served to make sure that my starting crest wouldn't become obsolete in comparison to the newer, sexier crests I got. This was more of a cherry on top for me, honestly, as I had already only been using the Hunter crest. Eva says some nice stuff about my crest. I don't know bug culture, but that feels very intimate. If any termites, beetles, or similar bugs are watching, please put in the comments if that is in fact very intimate. She also says to return to her if I expand my nature so she can perceive my crest again. And even after finishing the game, I have no idea what that means and how I did it, but I will do it later on. With my new double jump ability, I double jump. More specifically, I double jump up here, break these vines, and reach a new area. To be more specific again, I reach the Memoriam. This place is basically a museum for all the stuff in Farloom, having sections for the Marrow and Sherwood. Containment fails, memory lost, excise outer, maintain inner, Sherwood status sustained, remember, Marrowwood status critical, remember, Verdanian environment exceeded, destined to forget. If I was smart, I could probably extrapolate what this meant. Luckily for you, I am a smart person. I think Verdania is forgotten. I gave 400 rosaries to Belhart because I'm nice like that, before this fellow called me over. He thanked me for my contributions, before saying a town was nothing without inhabitants and giving me a bell home of my own. It was pretty nice to have a place of my own. At the moment it was bare bones, but through my travels I could find cool stuff and throw it in here, making my home feel, more homely. Back in the Citadel, I opened up a hatch and did some parkour. I really enjoyed this. Parkour in Silksong is much more fun than it was in Hollow Knight due to my many different movement options, and they all just felt good to sync together, so despite the potentially frustrating nature of this room, I had a good time. Once I got past it on full health, might I say, I was confronted with a puzzle. Well, not really a puzzle, more of a trial and error time waster. It wanted me to match all the tiles to each other to create an image. I got the first one, the next one, the third one. Oh, whoops, my bad, man. I did do it on purpose, but I didn't think you could, be affected by gravity. Then I got the final one. Hey, a big button. Don't mind if I do. Bippity boppity boo, I got the architect's melody right in front of you. And furthermore, I had all 3 melodies now. All that's left is to talk to the big scary bronze statues.
Pilgrim of Eternal, you may chosen as a special listen to our wish, deliver it, may rise above and see your end.
We would hear the song of the architects at the core of our citadel, they who sustain our realm, its walls, its floors, and its voice, even as others fall silent. We would hear the voice of the keepers within their grand vaults, they who guard our history, our prayers, and our secrets across the ages.
We would hear the melody of the conductors, high in their gleaming towers. They bear the heaviest mantle, who will guide our land ever on to greatness.
Well, have I got the treat for you and your sped up little voices.
Pilgrim who would hold our song with you shall rise above. Offer your most devout self unto our sacred heart.
I bet. Oh crap, I got a whole new animation for walking into it. This is serious. Oh, we're just going. Alrighty then. Yes, it was time for one final fight with Lace. Before I reached my journey's end, I had to confront my arch nemesis one more time. And frankly, if I had to die, I would be pretty happy to die in this nice scenery. Just a ton of white flowers. I feel like I died and I'm in some weird afterlife, but in a good way, you know? But Lace learned some more moves and was more locked in than I was, so I actually got sent to the afterlife. I won't bore you with my many, and I mean many, deaths to Lace. Suffice to say, she was either holding back big time, or she had just been training, because she kicked my ass 8 ways to Sunday. For a good hour, she sliced and diced me. But unfortunately for her, I had Groundhog Day powers, and had decided it was high time for me to lock in. No, fight ain't over, let me out of here! Alright, fine, I'll talk to her.
Congratulations, Spider. Finally I felt you sing and you've bared the truth of my pathetic empty shell.
Yeah, I knew from like a mile away that your life was one made of silk.
Life, you're too generous, this weak wasting existence. This was not life, just a husk shaped to act as a child.
Okay, now you're being stupid. You're obviously alive because I think therefore I am.
Platitude, Spider, from you, don't be gross. Head on, climb up, up and away. You've earned your audience with the divine. Face the holy mother who had fashioned so cruel and crude a daughter as me. After all, it's you that she wants, is it not?
Huh. You know, I don't know how I feel about that. She was my enemy, but she was given a cruel hand in life. Not truly living. Yo, a silk heart! It was all worth it! Oh, back in the Sherlock Holmes Mind Palace where voices talk to me while I do parkour in front of a beating heart.
Better a child spun pure than them.
You're dangerously close to sounding kind of like racist. I'm sorry, man.
Better a child spun mad than none.
Okay, that's not racist. That's just fair. Right, give me that.
From our silk, a child born loyal.
Well, that was a good nap. Don't you think so, Lace? Oh yeah, she's dead. I killed her. All right, what's on the agenda for today? Oh, kill the pale monarch. Oh, who am I kidding? I love killing gods. Let's go! Parkouring up and away through the vents in the tight nooks of this citadel, I finally find myself in the cradle, the monarch's seat of power. You can tell because everything is covered in silk. In the cradle, I find notes on cages that bear a striking resemblance to the one I was brought to Tharlum in. They detail a weaver and where it was caught. It seems that the ruler of Farloom has been making a habit out of capturing weavers and bringing them to Farloom so they could... I'm not sure on that part, but nothing good, I imagine. Well, it's a good thing I'm here to put a stop to it. And here, in the end, I find myself doing more parkour. Okay, at this point, I gotta ask why. Why did the ruler install this here? Who is this for? Do they just like making their subjects do flips and tricks in order to talk to them? Weird, man. Weird. But as I keep going up, I see a heart. A beating silken heart. The same one I'd been seeing in my Sherlock Holmes Mind Palace. Fittingly enough, the threads are starting to come together. And I am finally given the option, the only option that's ever mattered. Do I challenge the ruler of Farloom? The one who has brought me here, who has been a tyrant over their kingdom, who has killed countless of my kin, who has been throwing enemies at me. Okay, the more I talk, the more reasons I find to kill this bastard. Like, it's not a moral debate, they just are a bastard. Yeah, whatever, let's kill a god. Grandmother Silk. Good to put a name to a reputation. She does have an admittedly sick design and attacked with large pins trying to skewer me. Nah, bro. That ain't happening. Whoa. Holy crap, that did 3 damage. Nothing has ever done 3 damage before. I am so screwed. Oh, you dick. Stop trying to kill me. All I did was trying to kill you. Oh, no. Alright, let's run that back. Alright, let's hold on a second. I have a worry, a sneaking suspicion about this game. See, in Hollow Knight, you could fight the Hollow Knight immediately and get an ending, but it wasn't a particularly good ending. But if you went the extra mile and did everything you could get the true ending. And I think I have more to do in Farloom. If I kill Grandmother Silk right now, in all likelihood, I'll get a lukewarm ending. But if I leave, I can get a much cooler ending.
And judging by the fact that there is another hour in this video, I think I'm on the right track. Alrighty then, let's go find some other ways to progress the game. Beginning my background quests, I purchased some vintage nectar from Kriege the barkeeper and fought some ants for custody over it. I won the case. My lawyer has this awesome strategy of stabbing anyone who disagrees with him, and yes, I am my own lawyer. But I digress, and I get the vintage nectar. I grab another mask shard, completing my set and netting me an 8th mask before going through some old places in Vile Water and finding a screaming baby called the Twisted Bud. Now, purely vibes-based, I think I should drown this thing, but my analytical mind does think this resembles Grey Root, that guy in Shelwood, so let's go pay a visit to them. Play, pay, whatever. Yo, Grey Root, I got a bud for you. Yeah, I got it in Vile Water. Awful place, just awful, but here you go. It must be nourished. Yeah, do you have like any baby food, like apple slices or Kraft mac and cheese or... Yeah, man, I can help. There's a Whole Foods right by my house. I can drop by and get some stuff. Yeah, I'm like a pretty helpful guy, and I'm trying to do quests right now, so yeah, I can do that. Run that by me again? Ah! Yay, I did that! Okay, what the hell is this? This has so many red flags it could piss off every bull in the world. Let me break out of here. Okay, well now what the hell was that? What the hell is up with myself? What the hell is going on? Screw this, I'm leaving and maybe seeing an exorcist. Alright, Gravy, what on God's green earth did you do to me? How the hell did you turn to petrified wood? You attacked me. How did you die? Screw you. I'm turning you into dust, you bastard. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to take it out on your corpse. Well, now what do I do? Hey, Kriege, I need a stiff drink, preferably apple juice. Yeah, I got a parasite in my ass. It ain't any deal. There's a doctor in the moors? I mean, how dangerous could it be? I'm sure it's fine. Hey! Hey! I'm cursed as hell. Dude, I am such a worthy specimen. It's actually crazy. I got like every disease and ringworm on top of that. Alright, thanks. This was Yarnaby, an eccentric bug a bit too full of herself, but the only person who could help me. I explained what was happening, how my strength was actively being sapped away, and how I had a headache at all times, and how I was extremely scared of confrontation, you know, just the normal stuff. Yarnaby said she had no idea what was going on with me, but she could still help. But again, she would need some stuff first, and I had to go get it. Give me spines. Thanks. Here you go, Yarnaby. Steel spines for you. Alright, so should I assign anything beforehand, or are you more one of those doctors that hides from the government? Probably are, honestly. No offense. Okay, that's a lot of securing. Okay, that's a lot of nails. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Oh, weirdly enough, that wasn't too bad. Felt like my chest was being aggressively flossed by dental floss. I've gotten surgery before. They cut a tumor out of my leg. It genuinely felt like they were just flossing at me. Then again, they did give me painkillers, but even then they said it would just hurt a lot, and it didn't. Anyways, I bound the crest of the witch, turning my curse into more power. But quite frankly, I had no care for crests that gave me trauma, so I never used it. I then spent some time delivering stuff for some courier bugs, and when I say spend some time, I mean spent some time. I trekked half across the kingdom with a satchel of stuff that had a timer on it, and whenever I took damage, a timer would lose some time. This led to me spending 2 hours of my life trying to deliver ingredients and failing before trying again. I hated this, but you do what you gotta do for the quests. I gave it to Mergwin for the meal, the vintage nectar was also for the meal, and he said a crust nut was needed for the meal. I don't know where that is. But after some exploration that might have involved some Googling, and in my defense, I searched for a long time before giving up, I found a little nook leading to an area I'd yet to be in. It had a ton of coral all around, and I'm not precisely sure, but I don't think coral is supposed to be out of the water, and it clearly wasn't good for it as most of it was dead. Just like real-life coral, the loss of our coral reefs is truly heartbreaking. Anyways, I was in the sands of Karak, a cool place that made temporary parkour out of coral. Everything here was red and corally, which I quite liked. Cool vibes to this place.
To no one's surprise, I met Chakra doodling on some paper, and we had a lovely little chat about how this place must have been cool at some point, but then everyone died and everything fell apart. You know, as I said, a lovely chat. I spent some time punching through walls of coral, getting ambushed by coral crab spider things, before punching through more coral and finding the crust nut. Also, I found the remaining conch fly, remember from the first act? No? Fair enough, it was a pretty forgettable fight. This guy was clearly a little miffed that I killed his partner, so to even it out, I killed him too. I think I'm a horrible person. And at the top of the sands of Karak, I found a great mound of coral. At water's source in coral's heart, our lord born last to rule. This was clearly a last sight of the coral tribe's power, their resting place. Tens of guards stood around a throne, and seated on that throne was a great corpse, clearly one that had been powerful in life, but was brought low by climate change, pollution, and overfishing. What can I say? The coral reefs being lost is really important to me, and spreading awareness is the least I could do. They really are some of the prettiest things on this earth of ours, and they are being decimated. Kind of a bummer, but that's life. But we can change it. But I got a new charm. Yay! And with the crust nut, I gave Mergwin the final ingredient for his dish. I get treated to some ASMR of Mergwin cooking, very nice, before seeing his masterpiece. It looks disgusting. It looks like Jell-O with chicken pot pie filling just floating around inside. In no world would I eat this. But maybe Mergwin's master is more open-minded than I am. Okay, clearly he's a lot more open-minded than me. He scarfed that thing down like it was ambrosia and not something you'd find at the bottom of Willy Wonka's garbage can. And to reward me, Mergwin bestows upon me some pale oil. And with that pale oil, I take it to the pin master, who uses it to sharpen my needle once more. I feel like I'm making up for when I went half the game without upgrading my pin when I was supposed to. But at the wish board, I found a very interesting wish. Trail's End. Chakra's wish for me to join her in Bilewater to find her master at last. I'm only going back there because I love you, Chakra. Otherwise, I'd keep a 3-mile distance from it at all times. But I actually spaced out and forgot about that quest, so first I'm going to unlock this door in the docks and see what's inside. What's inside is a trial room, and someone leading what seems to be a workers' union. And while I do love me a good union, I have to get by, so I gotta kill you. And this was an incredibly dramatic fight, intense music, literal waterfalls of lava. I don't think this guy needed a union. He was clearly getting paid incredibly well because all of this seemed very expensive. Eventually, I pissed him off enough that he called in the other leader of the union, Gron, most known for inventing Reaganomics. That's right, it's Ronald Reagan. Weird that he's here. He fired 11,500 air traffic controllers that went on strike. But he was also a union leader himself, the only president to ever be one. That guy didn't make much sense. Nevertheless, I managed to defeat both of them and move on with my life. More specifically, I moved into this sauna. I actually hate it when I get out of a hot shower and everything is steamy, so I don't think I'd like a sauna. At the bottom of the docks, and Farlem in general, I found an old diving bell. But I can't open it, and I don't really know what a diving bell is, so I'm gonna leave this here. I then remembered about my best friend Chakra's wish, so I investigated the trail she left and followed her through Bilewater. But at a certain point, the scenery transitioned from weird, gross green stuff to very nice, rainy blue stuff. And at the bottom of a pit, I found Chakra standing next to the corpse of who I could only assume was once her master. The similarity is surprisingly striking, and I assumed Chakra would be kind of down, so I talked to her. She addressed me by my name. I never realized it, but she never actually did that before. She then said one of the best lines in the game. In these moments, one is good, but two is best. Absolutely, Chakra. Being with your friends when you're going through hard times is a very good thing. Having a strong support system is incredibly sexy. Chakra said that her master was ended by age, and some would see that as shameful, but all Chakra saw was strength unbeaten. She had journeyed through all of Farlem and survived, and when her time was at its end, she found a quiet, reigning little nook and fell into slumber. To honor her memory, Chakra and I sang and played respectively. If there was ever a perfect funeral, it would be this one. Just surrounded by people I care about, in a small space with only one entrance, nice blue crystal scenery, nice music playing in the background, constant rain so it feels like I'm in the shower. I really like that feeling, so that's great. Surrounded by water, posed up in a cool way, very quiet, no loud people. Okay, the more I talk, the more I want to die here.
But ignoring my post-mortem fantasies, Chakra decides to give me a gift. Her rings, the ones she's been using this entire time. And I was left here in the most serene place I've ever seen with a corpse that looked like it was just sleeping. This was, without a doubt, one of my favorite moments in the game. Back in the Citadel, I jumped off a cliff, pogoed off this moth idiot, broke this wall, and found myself in another one of the worst areas in the game, the Putrefied Docks. This was basically Bilewater 2.0, and I hated it. Now, you might be asking, Azest, how did you know how to do all that stuff to find this place? Well, to be frank, I googled it. I knew it existed, but I had no idea how to get there, and I had looked for ages upon ages before just giving up and googling it. I didn't like it. It felt cheap and boring. But after an hour of searching, I wasn't really in the mood for more searching, and to be frank, this was an incredibly obscure and hard-to-find place. At a certain point, it's just cruel and mean to hide entire areas behind a singular wall that can only be accessed by wall jumping up a wall that can only be found by jumping off a ledge in a specific region and running to the other side for 10 billion years. TLDR, why is it so hard to find this place? What the hell? Let's move on from the annoying hidden places. I opened a bellway for Siobhan before finding an actually nice place that resembled the place where Chakra's master died. By a huge lake, I played my Neodolin before reading a magically appearing sign. Sisters spiders, watch these waters flow, cleansing binding as silk from shell, memories of our kingdom calm. Oh crap, they were not kidding. This is some nice water, very quenchable. I feel like if I drank this water, it would taste immaculate and cure my thirst for a solid hour. I get thirsty a lot. I played my Neodolin over the lake on this cliff, but it didn't do anything, I just felt like it. Back in the gross place, I found Vogue, a war-torn flea that looks nothing like her compatriots. I let her know that there were some other fleas that were hanging out, and she should totally join them. And she agreed. When I met up with her again, she offered to sell me the locations of fleas I'd yet to meet. Very nice of her. I also talked to the flea master and told him about the lake and how nice it was. I told him that if he wanted to set up somewhere more permanently, then that place was about as good as he was gonna get. And because these guys were chill as hell, I joined them for one final caravan ride. This is entirely too many fleas. And eventually the trek was complete and I was in the flea's final resting place. Not in a death way, in a permanent residence way. They're not dead. This, of course, being Fleatopia. Very wonderful name.
It's feeling almost time, eh, Bellringer? You and her waits up there, favorable way to make your play, or else I claim her place.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that. I kind of like want to dominate. It's like in my blood, but also I don't really want to do that. Like I kind of want to like claim. I don't really want to claim the man. I kind of want to just like leave. I don't want to be like chained. It's weird.
Remarkable idea you're speaking there, Bellringer. A world cut free. Not a wish I've heard cause to hope on, serious like. It's a surprise to hear you speaking it. Oh, you hoping I've been able to see obviously the other monarch in the glare of a weed. Dang
I
it.
should read your lines faster. Anyways, so if you've guessed that, can you like help?
Hey, maybe yes, I can hear it. Maybe there's an idea. One of your discussions, there's substance in the score.
Oh, so you like got a place? Like you just like tell me, please.
We have me and what remains of my family. It's a trap, a sword beyond the skill of one to go further than a binding. You have to be 100% if you're dared enough to try.
Oh, now it lingers. We have me and what remains of my family. Okay. And just like that, we found it. The way forwards, the way towards the true ending I knew existed. Silk and Soul. The name of the quest that would allow me to beat the ever-loving hell out of the monarch. Alright, so like help me out. Like how do I actually like do this? Like what do I need?
It's my family's strength that we need to seek in Bellringer. Us three old bugs still alive, spread across the kingdom, one of a poor cousin. Dang it! Each has power to reach raw, savage, they'll give it. If the fascination of the act, they believe that's where it goes. They have no choice at all. And last is the base, seek a weapon of Weaver's Pass. Should still one be left down there in the largest nest of snares, that the trap will be woven tight around it. Runa searing silk.
Well, alright, let's do this! Whoa. What are we doing? I phased out. What's going on? Where am I?
My sense of cleaner feature, my sister will part with the perfect kind of okay.
Hey, that sounds like the lady from the start of the game. Hey, what's up? It's me again. Give me your power. I gotta make a trap to kill Grandmama. The chapel maid was surprisingly up for this, and I'm pretty sure she was an anarchist from the way she was talking. And with her enthusiasm, she gave me the maiden's soul. Yeah, she straight up gave me her soul. Had no idea you could just like rip it out like that.
Buried deep in the ward and the bells at Furlum's core, seek my sullen uncle. That one has power to spare.
Alright, sullen uncle, that should be easy enough. Hello? Sullen uncle? This doesn't seem like... Oh, what's this? Oh, I can climb it. It's a whole new area.
I swear to you, I did not Google this. I found this by complete accident. This, of course, being the Wisp Thicket. I had no idea what was going on here, so I talked to some of the friendly locals. Alright, good news, I defeated the arsonist bug and moved on. Bad news, I got locked in a room with the being he worshipped, the Father of Flame. I mean, as far as titles go, that's as cool as you get. You can just hear the capitalization on that. The idea behind this fight was that I would attack the limbs and try to explode them while I dodged the fireballs the central lamp would throw out. It was incredibly simplistic and easy, which sucks because this is probably my favorite enemy design in the game, and he has such a cool name, and they don't do much with him. Like, spoiler alert, after I kill him, that's it. He's just gone, and no one else in the kingdom ever talks about it. There's no lore about him, he never shows up anywhere else. The Wisp Thicket is just never mentioned. I think if it was more intertwined with the world, it would be awesome. But as it is, it feels like someone just copy and pasted an extra area they had lying around into Farloom. Like, credit where credit's due, it's a cool area, but it just feels out of place and weird. Even the entry in the journal reveals cool stuff, but that awesome stuff is just never really executed. Also, whenever I found more of those fire enemies, they would self-immolate, burning themselves to a crisp. I thought they were building up to something, like burning themselves to reincarnate their god or something, but no. Nothing ever happens. Even after I 100% beat the game, I was still expecting something to happen. In essence, great idea, just there wasn't really an execution. So it wasn't a good execution, it wasn't a bad execution, there just wasn't one. Back in Greymore, I met up with Chakra. She said she wanted to 1v1, and I love violence, so sure. This was honestly a good pick-me-up after the disappointing Wisp Thicket. This was a very good fight, very fast-paced, and very fun to do. But I managed to defeat Chakra before defeating her again for a good measure. Then I remembered the thing I had to do and returned to the caretaker so he could tell me where his uncle was. Warren Bells, Farloom's Core, got it. But I got distracted again and found some more pale oil and paid the pinmaster to make my needle shinier and deadlier. My needle was now the hive steel needle, the polishing revealing the cool patterns. Very nice. As I was wandering through the citadel, I happened upon an old friend, the green fellow with a funny accent I freed back in the first act. Here he was, in the citadel, talking about how he never wanted to return here. We exchanged some words about how resistance was cool and sexy, and he said some morbid stuff about death. He's genuinely just everything I want to be. And I actually saw him again next to the destroyed remnants of one of the cogwork dancers, and side by side I realized they were identical. The tall green bug implied it was his wish to destroy them, and when asked about the similarity in appearance, he said it was his partner's idea, and they had given shell and soul to make the mold. He had been cowering away until I freed him, but as I freed him, I freed his partner's soul by destroying the cogwork dancers. It wasn't great consolation for the death of his partner, but it could have been worse. Not really a happy ending, more of a quiet resolution. Then I remembered the main quest for the 80th time and went back to confirm what I had to do. Warren Bells, Farloom's Core, got it. I actually scratched that. First I bought a key from the architect, opened up their door, and stabbed something or other in order to get the crest of the architect. I actually liked this one. It was based around tools and crafting them on the go while having a cool, screwing attack. So I used it for a while, but, I liked the hunter more, so I never left behind the starter crest. Then for the 81st time, I remembered the main storyline. Warren Bells, Farloom's Core, got it. And this time, I actually did try and find it. I assumed it was in Bellheart, it made the most sense, but I could not find it no matter where I looked. Come on, there's so many bells here, there has to be a sullen uncle somewhere around here. Yeah, I gave up and broke this thing, which turned out to be a gun. Yeah, just a full-on gun that shot money at people. But eventually, I locked in and managed to find a secret entrance in Bellheart. And by lock in, I mean I gave up and Googled it after 3 hours of searching. Look, I didn't want to either, but at some point, you just gotta throw in the towel. My pride didn't like it, but I liked the thought of another 3 hours of searching even less. But regardless of the unsavory methods of finding him, I managed to find the sullen uncle, also known as the Bell Hermit. And he was very sullen, kind of a bastard, and kept calling me a slave, but he still gave me a soul. But not before he insulted me more. The hell's down here? It is such amazing here. Wait up, hold on. Is it? I knew it! I knew it! But I don't trust this room. Having a whole room just for this is not right. And bells? Something's off here. I just don't like it. Something's in this room. I just know it is. It can't just be by itself. Why would it be bells? This isn't in a bell section. Something's up here. I just know it is. I knew it wasn't just a room. They called me insane. They locked me in a room for months. Why do you think this video took so long to come out? You thought I was procrastinating? No, I was locked away, screaming about how I knew the bell room had more secrets. You were all wrong. Only I, Azest right last name was right. Screw you all, I'm gonna go drink more tea! time I did it, I was too tall and my head was out of frame, so I just slouched down. It's dark outside, and I'm wearing a different thing to show that time has passed. I'm actually recording this the day after I recorded the last one. And this tea is very nice because my voice is kind of shot from recording a lot. I recorded like, I don't know, a lot. It takes a lot of recording to get recording done. I'm currently 40 minutes through the entire voiceover bit. Why do I choose to do voiceover? It's not easy, it's hard. It takes a lot more time. But it is higher quality, so. Oh Lord. I took a shower and forgot to do anything to my hair. It's just, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm boiling pasta right now for dinner, and I think my water's boiling. Had to reheat the tea because it's the next day and then it got cold, because that's how time works. Tea isn't as good as when it's reheated. It's just bad. It's still good, but it's worse. This is the first, I'm trying a new tea type. Usually I just drink black tea. This is chai. I've never really drank chai before, but the one time I did, it was really good. So I got some chai, and it's pretty good. I've been playing Look Outside a lot recently. That's gonna be a video in like next year probably. I take a while to make videos. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna do Moonlighter. I believe that's the name of it. Next, I already played the entire game a while ago, but I've been working on the Silksong video for so long that like, it doesn't even matter, so. Next is the Moonlighter video. That one's gonna be a hell of a lot shorter, probably around 30 to 40 minutes. And then I'm gonna do the Look Outside video. Look Outside is a phenomenal game. It's really, really good. Truly, it's just a masterpiece. Truly, it's amazing. Just amazing that just one guy made that thing. I'm pretty sure it was just one developer. Very impressive. I'm very excited for Madison the Cursed City, which he says is like his actual main work. Like if Look Outside was his side project, his main game must be insane, bro. Alright, I need to go put my pasta in the water, so back to the video.
Yeah, that was a good cup of tea. Anyways, I talked to Eva to see if she knew anything about the tool the caretaker was after. She was rather vague, saying it was by the moss, and I didn't find the tool, but I came face to face with something I never thought I'd have to see again. The Moss Mother. And the other Moss Mother. I think there's like a lesbian thing going on here, I'm not sure. But call me the evil and intimidating horse because I murdered both of them. Eva, I just murdered lesbians, are you proud of me? Eva wasn't, which is fair, but she did notice my nature had expanded. Again, no idea how I got that. Maybe it's from getting another crest, but I really have no idea. Regardless, she peered deep within my soul and gave me a sick trinket, a Vesta crest. This was a slot for me to equip an extra tool permanent, no matter what crest I had. Then, on top of that, because she's such a lovely person, Eva gave me another Vesta crest. Shout out Eva, man, she's awesome. And then I looked for the tool. I genuinely walked around the same room for an hour looking for this stupid thing. I hated this so much, and I refused to Google it again. My pride just wouldn't allow it. And after a good hour and a full episode of Smosh Reads Reddit stories, I peeped this little hole and climbed up. Finally finding the snare setter. And I was so happy that I started playing my Neodolin. Yeah, man. Oh, uh-huh. Oh, yeah. All right, have your thing. Soul from the Maiden, Soul from the Uncle, Soul from Bilewater. I actually got that one a while ago. And a snare setter. And I might start looking into an ADHD diagnosis. I already have the autism and anxiety ones. It's like collecting Pokemon cards. I hope the caretaker assembled a package before he told me he would be waiting by the grandmother silk lady.
All that was left to do was to go murder a goddess. The final step of our journey, the great conclusion. Just think of the glory, the wonder that will come for this grand finale. We have journeyed for so long and worked so hard, and it's finally time for... Wait, what's that? Broodfest? Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, here's your meats to feed your children so they won't eat you. Feel free to tip me. I also found the last flea, and the flea master was very thankful and said some nice stuff before giving me the egg of Flelia. It was a tool that decreased silk cost for stuff when my health was full. It was pretty nice. And with those things tied up, there was only one thing left to do.
And you come a long way, Bellringer. Granting wishes, saving bugs, even arousing my sullen family to act. The snare set above, our power bound and song stride to your sight may seem a crude thing, but it's fire enough to quell a god.
Thanks for your help, man.
Hey, bring your best, Bellringer, and call forth our great pale god. Cut her wings and drive the beast atop the snare. Contact made will stir the snare of light, but only your needle's song will awaken the song in full. When that moment arrives, you'll see it clear.
Alrighty then, let's get this show on the road. Holy crap, he just jumped. But whatever. Time to ensnare a god. Doesn't sound as cool as time to kill a god, but whatever. Yodeling time, baby. Let's play a lullaby song. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. You should not have messed with me. Now never again will you be free. Oh crap, that's fully just the void. What the hell, caretaker? I thought this would be an ethical imprisoning. I don't mess with the void, you know this. I'm getting out of here, you bastard. You bastard. All I'm trying to do here is trap you for all of eternity. Holy hell, Lace is alive. Why'd you do that? I thought she was your mom and you hated me. What is going on? Well, that's all, guys. Make sure to smash that subscribe button to share this with your friends, your family, the government, just everyone you know. What a crazy ending. Well, time to move on with our lives. That's it. Pack up, go home, never think about Silksong again. The world ended, the end, final conclusion, every synonym for ending possible. See y'all next time. No, obviously not. It's showing me the game completion, but it's lying. They wouldn't do this. There's more. Also, 40 hours? Good lord, I did this in like 10 days. I really locked in on this game. Speaking of locking in, I did that entire fight hitless. Like, go back and check it. I did a hitless, and that was my first try doing it. I'm awesome. But I'm not done with Farlumi yet. Oh, hey, it's hell. Actual hell. Void hell, some might say. That caretaker really screwed everyone over. And my game save is covered in black void vines. They actually hacked into the mainframe and destroyed my save. You know, this is so incredibly confusing, shocking, and startling. I'm gonna switch into live commentary. Turning on the microphone for this one. This is not even voiceover. Uh, hello? Let me in! Let me in! We're switching from like 100 Days style video to like Let's Play, because what the hell is happening? Hello? Oh, son of a bitch. Yes, there is a hidden and secret Act 3. I knew exploring more of Harlem was the right choice. It's always the right choice to be a completionist. Or maybe not, because everything just looks awful. Better than Bylewater, but when you even bother comparing the two, that's when you know it sucks. And I have one singular quest. Discover the fate of Farloom. Yeah, man, I was already gonna do that. My many years of engaging in horror media have taught me that's probably completely fine. But exploring further through the vents, I find... Damn! Ah! I thought we left this bit behind in the first episode. I still haven't found an Advil, man. I went to CVS but didn't get any because I thought this stupid bit was over. There's only so many times a reoccurring bit can reoccur before it's just stupid, and I'm fairly sure we've hit that point. Maybe if I jump down this convenient hole, I can hit my head so hard I'll become numb and won't feel pain anymore. Okay, weirdly enough, that actually worked perfectly. I feel much better. But I find that the more things change, the more things stay the same, as even during Ragnarok or whatever this is, there are still trial rooms. And where once they were just normal bugs piloted by Silk, they are now piloted by Void. You can tell because of the monochromeness and the Void tendrils shooting out of their bodies. I then got another headache. I've gotten so many I've grown immune and don't need to do that bit anymore, and then I fall down a grate and died. I woke up to the best thing if hell could ask for, that being the delightful music of Sherma singing, and okay, what the hell? No, your eyes are not deceiving you. Sherma was wearing the caretaker's getup. Less importantly, he also told me what happened. Basically, black tendrils, everyone died, caretaker left to hide in an old chapel, everything sucks, the end. And if I'm gonna survive this post-apocalyptic wasteland, I'm gonna need the right tools. Gun. As I journey through the Citadel's wreckage, it is clear that everything has gone to hell. Black threads have coalesced around everything, the bugs are corrupted, and of course, everything is a bit more monochrome. This truly is a living hell. I joke, but I actually hated the monochromeness, in a good way. It made me feel like everything really was just so much more worse. Ain't no way in hell I'm walking all the way back. Siobhan! Siobhan? Holy crap, Siobhan, you got a new haircut! Yes, sir. Siobhan has been corrupted by the black ichor void stuff, and she left a hole behind, so I quickly jumped inside and followed her. Also, if anyone is an engineer, can you explain how these tunnels don't immediately collapse? That'd be swell. Thanks. In a bell cavern, Siobhan trapped me and began a fight. The fight was pretty simple. Siobhan would spit stuff at me, I would get hit and cry, then she would shoot more stuff out of her behind. I didn't like that. No one wants to be seeing that. I now had 2 reasons to kill her. The first being it's probably what she would have wanted. And when all hope is lost, in the greatest twist of all, Siobhan comes from the top rope! Holy crap, they're going at it! 2 monoliths of buggy power absolutely scrapping it off screen! The crowd is going wild! And we have a winner! Congratulations, Siobhan. I thought you were turned into a longer version of yourself, but no, that was just an entirely different creature. And as a little come down after the murderizing of a random centipede, we both engaged in some lighthearted musical fun. And from the ground, 4 mini bell beasts popped. Terry, Grant, Juliet, and Siobhan Jr. I felt like a proud uncle, and that proud uncle has just learned a new song. The Beastling Call. This would call Terry, Grant, Juliet, and Siobhan Jr. to my location, where they would then grab me and return to Mama with me. This was the most convenient thing in the entire world. I would kill 10 centipedes to get this.
But it appears I have gotten sidetracked, back to finding out why the world ended. I'm coming in. You ended the world, so I don't need a warrant. That's how it works. Hey, money. Wait, no, don't get distracted. There you are, veiled in shadow for a dramatic reveal. I wouldn't even gasp at your snails! I blamed them for binding Grandmama Silk to the void, and their response was that I should have known that it was what was gonna happen. I don't think that's victim blaming, but it's definitely something. Turns out they hadn't accounted for Lace also being in the Void Dome, and the quakes and screams were the result of them duking it out. Grandmama Silk was fighting the darkness for the sake of Lace, destroying Farloom in the process. I'm getting some conflicting information. Lace said Grandmama didn't care for her, but she clearly does. Whatever, I just have to go down there and see what's up for myself. And that diving bell I found a while ago, that would be my vessel. Luckily enough, it could take me to where the Void Dome was, so let's do that. And even in this tarnished place, I still find Gahmun protecting the innocent and fighting bugs like it's a fun pastime. Never change, Gahmun. Kriege is also still in business, probably doing much better. Everyone needs some apple cider to cope with the end of the world. Ugh, that's good stuff. In Belhart, the mayor has gained depression, which does make sense. In lighter news, a lot of the pilgrims have found their way here and survived. He also talks of a protector, protecting them from the voided bugs as a protector does. I found that the protector was Chakra. It was cool to see her putting her talents in the noble art of murder to the noble cause of protecting people. And this one doesn't really matter, but it struck me how I found this bug dead holding an item. He was actually a shop owner and sold this item. This little attention to detail just hit me. It told a story, his corpse being here away from this shop. Did he run with his items? How did he die? What was his reaction? Nothing could be known, because he was dead. I am someone who is slightly obsessed with death, and the simple fact that this person I had known was dead and I didn't even comment on it or acknowledge it, just took his stuff and left, really struck that particular fancy. But it only got worse from here, I'm afraid. In the remnants of Fleetopia, I found the Flea Master alone, the other fleas dead, or worse. He sang for the end of their lives, saying that their paradise would soon be consumed, and that there's only one more task. Ecstasy of the end. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what he wants, and I am loath to do it. But if it is his wish, then I will do so. I will miss you, my friend. What? Oh, it's a festival. I straight up thought you were asking me to, like, mercy kill you, man. What a silly situation I've got myself into here. Yep, the world has ended and the fleas did the best thing they could do, which is forget about it and just have a blast. There was a myriad of fun games, like the one where you juggle fleas, the one where you dodge fleas, and the one where you pogo on fleas. These were good fun, but I had a kingdom to save, so I started by saving the Pin Master. He was kind enough to repay me by sharpening my needle again and for the last time. I had achieved the Pale Steel Needle, the greatest needle of them all. Not entirely sure how the type of steel changes with the sharpening, but who cares? But back to the main quest. I talked to the Forge daughter about the diving bell, but she said, "Nah man, I can't help, I gotta forge stuff." I mean, the world is ending, so I feel like this is an exception, but sure, alrighty then. I instead talked to Ballo, and he was much more helpful. And in no time at all, I was getting in the bell. Alright, Ballo, I'm ready. Well, no use delaying it. 2 seatbelts? This really is the height of luxury. Well, would you look at that? I'm somehow not dead. I assumed having a bell break in the middle of a lake of lava was at least a little bit deadly, but turns out it's fine. I left the bell, ready to see what the hell is that. I'm killing it. When in doubt, murder, and that is a very good philosophy to go by here, and apparently here was the abyss. Not exactly what you love to hear. I was attacked by more of those weird crawling bugs and also what appeared to be a flying cut of ham. I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. But Team Cherry proves they still hate me because what on God's green earth is that? Little known Azest fact, I have trypophobia. That thing doesn't look too bad. Then it opens up its back like the loveless freak of nature it is, and you realize this place truly is godless. In any case, I do some parkour, some falling, and some conversing with the horrors. Yes, I'd say this is black mold. Here you are, you bastard. How are you still alive? You're so deep in there. Are you gonna just let your lands be messed up just for lace? Basic utilitarianism, don't do that.
Spider dear, what a delight it is after you finish. It is oh so lonely here at the bottom of the world.
I cannot be as happy as you, bro. The entire kingdoms are being destroyed.
Letting you live was my rebellion, Spider. I've denied my mother your silken strength. I've won. She can thrash and waste, knowing her pathetic broken child caused a mortal wound. Rejoice and let it all come down.
You have really weird, mommy issues, but, I've already, done this whole thing with Hollownest. I'm not doing it again. So I'm gonna, save this kingdom, because screw you, bro.
Cringe! Spider, what a marvelous specimen you are. You fight and fight heedless as the world crumbles around you. Farloom and her bugs will be crushed to dust, and you'll still vainly be swinging your blade.
No, there's still a way. I know of a flower. I know flowers. I know snails as well, and they know about flowers, and they know how to help me deal with this. See, what's that? That down there. I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna freaking beat the hell out of you, okay? I'm gonna come back.
Ha 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 ha, loser!
Emo bastard. Alright, now how the hell do I get out of here? I find a weaver door, open that bad boy up, and find a weaver statue. Yes, I'm up from a distant land, and I'll bind your strength, yada yada yada. Give me your soul. I couldn't resist hitting it one last time. The Silk Soar, a new skill and my ticket to getting out of here. TLDR, shoot needle up, go up. The game tried to give me a tutorial with it, but for some reason I just shot my grappling hook thing around me instead and got my ass ate by the horrors. But I learn from my mistakes every now and then, so I use my Silk Soar and get out of there. I use it again to get out of the basement of the abyss. Somehow this thing has infinite range, but I'm not complaining. And I use it a third time to get out of the abyss in general. Now if you're looking at this and saying to yourself, wow, Azest's movement is really smooth here, how did he do that? Well, basically, I got stuck here for half an hour and couldn't for the life of me manage to finish the parkour, and after 10 attempts, you pick some stuff up. Now, I'm gonna commentate over this like a sports announcer, because that sounds like a good time.
Alright, we'll start here. As we can see, Azest is going up. He misses the lava just barely. He's been doing this for half an hour. He knows how to do it by now. Getting closer to the mic so you can hear me better. Going up. He's going through, going up the second thing, and oh! Misplay of the century! Now, friends, Azest is on a timer here. He's got places to be. He cannot be making mistakes like that, and yet he did. What is he thinking? But he's going back through here. He's doing it well. Let's see if he can do it again. Oh, just by millimeters, he misses it. Oh, yes, I'm using the metric system. I'm so shocked. Now, friends, this is a very hard part, and by that, I mean it's very simple, but there is lava. Now, lava was famously invented in 1916 by John Lava. Here we can see Azest going for the silk. He is still on a timer, so it's a risky play, but I think that he thinks that he has time. And as he hasn't died yet, I think he does. Oh, he falls. Oh, that's not good for him. All right, now, getting the explosives. Okay. Oh, perfectly done, perfectly done. But, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that it has fallen, and it is causing the timer to accelerate. Now, any second now, we will be seeing the consequences of his actions. Is there... Getting word in the studio. Yes, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The rising lava, once again invented by John Lava. As we can see, he is going up, and here it's been easy pies up until now, but here he's entered the gauntlet. This is going to test all of the skills he's learned across all 50 hours of his gameplay, more like 60 hours. And by all of the skills, I mean really just the needle grapple thing. I don't know the name of it, but I'm getting word from production that we can just Google the name. However, we're busy doing this. Oh, misplay of the century again! That was not a climbable surface, and he tried to climb on it. But he's still going up. There's still time. It's all breaking around him. It's really not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. And, quick, yes, grab the silk thing. Go up, see if he can do it in time. He's been doing this for half an hour. He really wants to finish this and go eat some pizza. And he's going up, and the lava is chasing after him. Oh, is he gonna make it? And he makes it!
I was right, that was a good time. Hey, snail bastards, let me give you the long and short of it. I told the snails that the Silk Void Dome was beneath the Lake of Void. The snails helpfully informed me that I would instantly die if I went in there, but I was a few steps ahead of them, and I told them there was a flower that could let me pass by unharmed. The snails knew it as the Everbloom, but they thought it was a myth and knew it did not exist here. However, I was still more steps ahead and said I could get it from within mine own memory. Everyone was just like talking about wrenching my soul open and finding my memory of a flower. Meanwhile, I'm just like nodding along, pretending I at all understood what was going on. The snails had some concerns and took a moment to converse. Hey, what are y'all talking about? Hey, can I join your little huddle? If I could just squeeze it. No? Oh, all right, fair enough. The snails said it would be possible, but they would need enormous power to do so, and they proposed getting the power from Farloom, more specifically the hearts of the powerhouses that existed here before Grandmama Silk took over. Apparently, others were big shots around here before she culled them, but as they didn't exist anymore, they taught me a little melody to reach into the memory of them and find the hearts. Really don't know what's going on anymore, but sure, I can play the Neodolin. Elegy of the Deep. A very intimidating name, but it fits. I had to find 3 different hearts to power the spell, and I knew where to find the first one. Through this little doorway in Greymoor, I found an old friend, the tall green man, in front of a cogwork dancer. He was talking about the splendor of these halls, how it was once this amazing place and he was a resident, and that got me thinking, what if I could use my silly little Elegy of the Deep on this guy? I mean, I was looking for old stuff that was gone. Why couldn't I do it? And so I began strumming on my little Neodolin, and Tall Green Man started singing along. And before I knew it, my vision started doing that thing it does when I walk for way too long and need to sit down, and I passed out and died on the floor. Oh hey, Sherlock Holmes my pastime. Wait a minute. I don't have greenery in my mind, I only eat vegetables. I don't know anything about them. I must be in the Tall Green Man's Sherlock Holmes mind palace. That was a lot of weird words back to back.
The myth we made by grace by blade, all bowed before we Princes Green.
Yeah, sure, man. I was right. I had found my ways to the halls of an older time, that time being the time of Lost Verdania's time because they didn't have enough time to save it in time. Yeah. My main task in Lost Verdania was to complete these little statue thingies by breaking them and grabbing all the little light thingies, which would then shoot into the sky, presumably doing something good. I pressed some buttons aggressively before going crazy on the Neodolin. Yay, light bulbs! I did another one before finding I couldn't progress as Tall Green Man didn't remember what came next. So, the little light bulbs were memories that helped him remember what happened. Sick. And while we're here, I just want to mention how absolutely awesome it is that Team Cherry made so much stuff here. Like, there are countless new enemies, all of them being unique and thought out. The landscapes are also beautiful. So much effort was put into this little section of the game, and I am in awe of the sheer work that must have been done. So Team Cherry, thank you for making this game really, really good. I got 2 more light bulbs before chatting to Tall Green Man again. He talked about stalking a pale stag, their defeat of her allowing them to become rulers. And look who it is, the pale stag. Get back here. Oh, it teleports. There you are, you bastard. Yes, there was even a boss fight. A very simplistic boss fight, but I still had a good time. And as the Green Princess did, I felled the pale stag. Did I feel bad? A little. That was just an animal. But I got enough light bulbs to erase any guilt I might have had over it. Enough for me to enter the throne room.
Again to see these land abandoned betrayed, and a throne I could not sit alone.
I don't feel too bad, man. You're like just mortal. It's like devotion to destruction. You know, that's kind of all we can do, you know? Hi. You can like feel guilt, that's awesome, but the end was like kind of inexorable. Like, that's a cool word, so you know it's
to
real.
console me, warrior. This memory is mine alone. I will not brook your brutish invasion. You who dare trespass this sacred chamber, ready yourself.
Yeah, it's fair. I didn't really consider how just brute forcing my way into his private memories might be a bit rude, but I guess it is. Well, too late for that. We're fighting. Tall Green Man summoned the memory of his counterpart and they both fought me. It is immediately obvious that they were the blueprint for the cogwork dancers, as they did the exact same moves, but, you know, better. I was sweating a little trying to keep up with them. They just kept dancing all around and stabbing me as I passed by. A bit of a drive-by stabbing, if you will. But just like the Cogwork Dancers, I loved this fight. It was fast-paced and frantic, and that was perfect for me. Fast pace is the perfect pace. The only real difference in the fight was their move when they came together in the middle, creating a hurricane that shot all around them. But no hurricane could prevent me from hitting them enough times and getting to the second phase. AKA the phase where they just went, let's stop dancing in unison and just beat the hell out of this guy. They just boxed me into a corner and like nerd circled me. But this fight, regrettably, didn't go on forever, and soon I was able to stab and kill the tall green man. To dance and love and end together. Oh crap, I killed him in his mind and he died in real life. I didn't think killing people would kill them. Wait a minute. At least he died with his platonic coworker? In a way? I don't know. I don't feel good about that. Just give me the heart. Oh, it's like an actual heart. I thought it was like a metaphor. No, that's just like a beating heart. Where did it come from? Never mind. I'm doing this to take a flower from my memories. It doesn't need to make sense because nothing makes sense. With one heart down, it's time to move on to the next, and I think I know where it is. It's here, in the sands of Karak. See, I thought this place was weird when I first found it, in that nothing happened. It looked sick, but I couldn't do anything, and I was proven right. So I played my little Neodolin and face planted on the floor and died forever. Alright, let's see what's up with this place. That was short. Turns out it's actually up. And no, I did not take an embarrassingly long time to figure that out, so distract yourself with these pretty fish. Not until this moment did I realize just how much I wanted an underwater segment for Silksong. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll have anything else other than this one. Ignoring future DLCs and probably future videos, I found that the Coral Tower was a series of trial rooms. As I said in the first video, I enjoyed trial rooms, so this was fine by me. Especially when I get the chance to fight some bugs I've never crossed paths with before. I pretty quickly beat the first room before moving on to the second. Holy crap, a sumo wrestler. No, seriously, it looks like one of those inflatable sumo costumes. Is that a guy or just a really small guy controlling a big guy from the inside? Wait, I think that's just what a brain is. They added a second guy, because why not? And then he came from the top rope and just demolished my ass. Nevertheless, I got my revenge when I killed the maybe sumo wrestler and achieved victory over the second trial room. Holy crap, friendly fire. What did that guy do to you? Oh, ow. Stop. What the hell? What do I do? What do I do? I can't go. There's spikes. Oh, crap, there's fish. What do I do? Oh, no, a fish. I died. Oh, my gosh. Good lord, that thing hit me like an 18-wheeler, albeit one without organs. The fourth trial room was a bit different, in that it was the exact same thing, but there was a smaller floor now. I did oh crap, we're going up. Oh hey, look at the nice scenery. It's so pixelated. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it's so low quality. Well, if this isn't a boss room, I don't know what is. Crust King Khan was here to mess me up. And quite frankly, he failed at that goal horribly. He had like an okay fight style of sending coral attacks at me, but it was just that. I mean, I like coral, but have some variety, my friend. He got a bit more aggressive with it, but I still don't care. I'm built incredibly differently. And I killed him. He's gone. Forever. Unlike with Tall Green Man, there wasn't really any guilt here. I just murdered him because I needed to. My bad, I'll remember you and your cool scenery. Our claws to crush, our claws to rule, our claws to save them all. One claw to rule them all, one claw to find them, one claw to bring them all in the darkness bind them. When Isildur cut the claw from Sauron's hand, the Crust King turned to coral in front of my eyes, crumbling away with the remnants of his empire, releasing his sole memory of his kingdom's glory and reign, and I achieved the encrusted heart. Yay! But the next heart wasn't as easy to get, mainly because I have no idea where it is. I mean, it's on the map, but I ain't got a clue. Am I dumb? Perhaps. Turns out it was in the elevator shaft. The one I fell down in the beginning of this video, that one. I don't know why they would hide it there. I assume they would hide it in Shellwood because that's where it is. But regardless, I made my way through and came across the guardian and boss of this section, Seth.
You might think that's a weird name. Compared to stuff like Hornet and Chakra, that's just a normal person name, but I'll tell you about that in a second. Seth here wasn't possessed by anything, it was just his duty to 1v1 anyone who wanted to come in, and based on the corpses piled around, he was pretty good at his job. So without further ado, let's fight, and let me explain the story behind Shrine Guardian Seth. See, this character was created by someone named Seth Goldman, a person who had Ewing sarcoma, a strain of cancer that manifests mainly in children and teens. He wanted to meet Team Cherry, and he actually did, and when they met, they offered him the chance to design a character, and so he did, sketching out a little guy, and they made him real and gave him Seth's name. Unfortunately, Seth did not live to see his counterpart in the game, but he is immortalized in Silksong. Even more so, considering that when you defeat this particular boss, they don't die. Shrine Guardian Seth loses his memories instead, and eventually joins the Fleas and spends the rest of the game having fun with them and playing their games. There's no jokes for this part, it was just a heartwarming yet bittersweet story. Also, in addition to the nice story, this is also just a really fun fight. I had a great time. And unfortunately, our time here has come to an end, and I defeat Seth, and our way is clear. Here we honor the seed that sprung the wood. By her grace may all bugs pass safe to join us and our song. Yeah, sure, man. Playing my song, singing along, getting a migraine, going out with a bang, starting a new bit, it's gonna be lit. This was the boss fight for Neolith, and let me be honest, it wasn't great. I feel like her moveset was just bland and it didn't chain together that well, and in comparison to the Sherlock Holmes Mind Palace sections, this one felt wanting. I mean, one made an entire new section, one made 20 new enemies and 5 trial rooms. This one was just a lady on a wall spewing poison at me. Quite frankly, I had a better time fighting Seth than I did her, but to be fair, I had a better time fighting Seth than I did most of this game's bosses. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I felt like it was more something I'd expect to see hold up in Shellwood for no reason, like Sister Splinter. For an integral part of the kingdom this memory would live on for years, it felt wanting. But this section still introduced me to Seth, so I can't be that disappointed. And I managed to murder Neolith, getting my final heart. Pollen heart, yeah, that tracks. Yo, guess what I got for you? Turns out that the tall green man's heart was an extra one, and I was supposed to get someone else's, and by doing all that side quest stuff, I just got this one instead. Hey, Lost Verdania was sick as hell, so I'm glad I did it. But it doesn't matter. I had 3 hearts. 3 hearts of incredible strength that we were about to burn to ashes to save Farland. There isn't really a moral quandary here. It seems pretty simple to me. Regrettable, but simple. And without further ado, let's get a flower pulled out of our memories. Nice yodeling. I didn't know that's how you cast magic in this world. Ah, crap! No one said it would hurt! What the hell? Ah, the second one! Oh, at least that's done. Ah, I forgot about the third one! This doesn't seem safe. If doctors knew about this archaic ritual, they would not recommend it! No way they just hit me with the freeze frame. Why do I feel like I have to fall to get everywhere? What if I just showed up? But regardless of method, I am now in the red memory. I don't know what I thought was going to happen there. Oh, mysterious door, let's go. Okay, the red is an improvement from just flashbanging me.
Show us your craft, child. Show it splendid as only we can teach. Prove yourself more weaver than worm.
Alright, we do a little weaving, cross stitch here, needle puncturing there, and crochet there. I don't really know anything about weaving, do I? It's fine, the elders are turning into light, photosynthesizing as the elders of the council do.
Oh, she's killing us. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ah.
Yo, Stag Station! I like Siobhan more, but it's always great to see the Stag Station sign. Oh, that just takes me right back.
Oh yeah, also my birthplace and childhood home or whatever. But the main thing here is the stag station. That thing is crazy. I wish I could see it again.
Ignore them, daughter. They are whispers. Greater, grander, weaver, guardian, queen, those are their desires, not your own. Certainly not mine. Only if you resist them, you might see another hope beyond. But to recall these words in a time so far, will you even remember me, child? Could you? A mother before the mask, before I lay forever in duty.
I mean, it was no stag station, but it's fine, I guess. Oh crap, I'm in the hive. I'm scared of bees, so I blocked this memory out for the most part. Frickin' bees, being scary, being cute in media, but terrifying in real life.
Good, better. Yet still you will need to be faster. In time there will come for you, those who fear your nature and those seeking to claim it. To survive our world, you must learn to sting, swift and sudden.
I don't really ever see that happening. People coming to take me away just because of my nature? Nah, man, that's preposterous. Wait, never mind. That's the entire premise of this game, isn't it? Oh my lord, not these bastards. I swear I will eradicate your bloodline if I ever see you again. Go back to the path of pain where you belong, you absolute soulless freaks of nature! Damn stupid fake bugs. I hate them all. In a non-racist way. I just hate them for all being part of a specific race. Yeah, my eyes! Every time! I thought we were done with the bit!
Alas, Spider's child. For our ways you will think us harsh, you will think us uncaring, unrepentant, and so we must seem, for such is the cost of our wish.
Pokemon evolution! Red! Nah, bro. Nah, you're wrong. You're always wrong. You're wrong. I knew the wish. I knew the price. And now, through the unknowable amount of time, who knows what kind of time has passed, I get it. To make a world better. To make a world as I want. In a non-dictator way.
Indeed, Spider, so much pain you must have passed to speak our hope so simply. For her you become, for who knows clear our desire, who has seen full the darkness beneath our house, I would show you the gift. Witness the first light, the only means we possess to resist that void with which our family is forever linked. Reach forth, child, grown strong, wrest it from this remembrance. Burden yourself free from our sorry fate. Bada bing, bada boom, we got the Everbloom. And when I wake up, I find that the snails are gone, almost certainly dead as a result of the ritual. I don't know if they knew that they would die and they made their peace with that, or if they underestimated the cost of the ritual, but either way, I'm not sure how I feel about this. They were the sole cause of this doomsday, but they were also instrumental in stopping it. My headcanon is that they knew they would die, as that is more interesting to me, but, believe whatever you want. Alright, Siobhan, it's time for one last ride. One last journey through the sick as hell bell veins. I'm gonna miss these. Down the hatch, through the deep docks, open the door and into the spa.
And let's pause here for a moment. I don't know if you've noticed, but you're almost at the end of the video, and this video is a little over 2 hours long. That is sizable, and I want to thank you for sticking through with me till the end. This video has been the biggest I've ever done by a mile, and I hope to not do another one like it for a very long time. You and me, we have seen Farloom and experienced it together. So thanks for being here. I do one last tea break, but I ran out, so we'll just have to get some after we save the world. Speaking of, let's go do that. Wait, where was it again? Back in the diving bell, hoping that I don't almost die again. But as I learned last time, being inside a capsule as it breaks and lets tons of lava in isn't that dangerous. If anything, it was like really nice. It cleaned me up. It was like a saline face wash. Well, we're safe, and that's slightly less exciting, but oh well. Guess who's back, baby? You damn right. The one, the only Azest, right last name. Back from killing people's memories to turn you into a memory!
Who are you hoping you'll find down there, Spider? An alien child and a silk-starved beast? If so, I'm afraid we may sorely disappoint. What waits below is me no longer.
Even if it's just your shadow, girl, I'm still gonna just kill you.
Then why hold even this moment? Surely terror hasn't suddenly claimed your heart and taught. Take the final plunge, Spider. Join us in my drowning palace and let oblivion swallow us all.
Through trials and hardships I have gotten here, I have done many a thing and made many a friend, and despite all of my many failures, I'm still here. I'm still going down to the bottom. I'm still gonna save the world. You tried with your little silk-spun enemies and mind-controlled populace to kill me, but I'm still here. Void tendrils and weird-ass abominations, and I'm still here. Parkour, clockwork soldiers, fetch quest, trial rooms, and I am still here. I 1v1 the first sinner, the monarchs of the Karak, Verdania and Sherwood, the last judge, Grohl the Great, the father of flame, and you. Both of you, Lace and Grandmother Silk. And I won. I fought and I won, and I will continue to fight. Because do you hear that, dear viewer? Yeah. I don't hear it either. But neither of us here, my friend, is the fucking bell! Hey, what's up, Lace? Kind of beat the hell out of you there. Fun fact, I actually beat you, went back and completed the rest of the game, then came here again to beat you again because I felt like it. Hey, lady, I can't really super jump out of here by myself. Can you help me? For your daughter's sake? Cheers. Well, call me a Mario, Luigi, and Toad in a polycule, because I'm about to super jump out of this place so hard I'll hit the damn moon like a Mario Odyssey. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, and folks in general, in the biz, that is what we call peak! What is there to say about the ending except that it was peak? In terms of what you want from a true ending, that's it. The lace fight was good, the music was incredible as always, and the actual events were pure cinema. I made light of it in the moment, but I love that Grandmother Soak sacrificed herself for Lace's sake. The little moment of the one who has been my enemy this entire time helping me live for the sake of her daughter is amazing. It's also amazing that Grandmother Soak never says a single word to me. This entire game revolves around her and her kingdom, but she doesn't say a thing. She only helps me in the end. And the Everbloom giving out sucked, but it led to the best moment in the game. The main character from Hollow Knight, the ghost, the little knight, the Shade Lord. I had one wish going into this game, and it was that we would see them again. And by golly, we did. And they saved our ass. They really posed up before saving us too. Really looked down at us and went, "Sup, Hornet? Need help? Well, you helped us. Only fair." I think that was about as well done as it could have been. I was unbelievably hyped to see them. I was jumping up and down in my chair like a preschooler. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that Lace was still alive. I thought she was dead as hell. And quite frankly, I'd like to see a game where me and Lace fight together. Collaborative stabbing is the best kind of stabbing after all. Stabbing brings people together. Sometimes. Also, if you're wondering who the hell that mushroom man was at the end, well, as I said earlier, I beat Lace, I 100% beat the game, then I fought Lace again. If you're asking why I didn't show this as well, I don't know, it didn't really cross my mind. But Mushroom Man was part of it. He's like a prophet or something. And did I like re-record me fighting Lace after I beat the game because my first time I beat Lace was kind of pathetic. I was like flailing around like a newborn deer. Did I do that? Maybe. But I am quite sad I can't see Farloom after I free it. I know realistically it wouldn't make much sense from a gameplay point of view. There's a lot of quests that require you to be in Act 3 and have everything still messed up, and if someone wants to play them after they beat the game, then they just can't ever do that. But I really do just want to see everyone freed and all my friends I've ever met across Farloom like meeting together and celebrating. I'm very much a fan of when in media people come together to make a small, hopeful community in the apocalypse. So while it doesn't make sense practically, I want to see it. It feels weird to be at the end of the game. After months of editing and scripting and voice recording, I'm done. I played the game, I made the video, and I'm done. So thank you all once more for being here, for joining me in this silly little adventure, a silly little adventure that took months to make. Hell, it took me so long to make this video that Silksong has lost its relevance. I should have released this eons ago if I wanted it to perform better. But at the end of the day, I'm in it for the love of the game, baby. I hope you enjoyed watching me fight enemies, complain about bile water, make friends, and so much more. Team Cherry, you may have ruined my day multiple times with that gardly you-ass place that is bile water, but ultimately you made a game that is genuinely amazing. Thanks for that, fellas. But regardless of how much I did or how well I did it, I'm done. That's it for now. Take care. I'm done! Sorry, I just had to get that out. Genuinely months of work. This thing has been a pain in the ass. I've had so many good video ideas and I was just like, ah, damn it, I have to finish the Silksong video first. But I'm done. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. Quite frankly, I don't think there's a single person here who's crazy enough to have watched this entire thing. I don't think there's anyone even listening to me, but I still made this video because I enjoy it. As I said, I'm in it for the love of the game. But I've talked enough, I've done my work. It's time for us to part ways once more. Ta-ta!